sanitizer and water and soap works in cleaning your body from the virus, coronavirus. So they bagilah pros and cons. They explain how does soap works against the virus. How does alcohol, isopropanol, works against the virus. But all in all, in general, both are good. Tapi dia katakan tadi, in general bukan untuk COVID saja, other viruses also, maybe hand sanitizer works best, especially if we wash our hands after we apply the hand sanitizer. My point here is, kenapa saya tunjuk video tu, is because as a science student, as a pharmacy student, as a person who studied chemistry, I want you to be able to understand apa yang diterangkan dalam video itu tadi. Macam mana masa dia terangkan macam mana sabun boleh mengepung virus tu sebabkan dia punya ciri kimia dia. Dia kata kat situ ada hydrophobic. So the certain parts of the sabun akan kepung the virus, and then after we wash the virus, dia akan get taken off from our body, from our hands. The hand sanitizer also the same. The alcohol parts of the hand sanitizer akan interact with the virus, break it down. Dia bagi analogy macam earthquake. Kalau hand sanitizer is like an earthquake. Kita akan take out all the nails, all the screws from a house, and then kita akan shake it off. And that will disintegrate the virus. That is how hand sanitizer work against the virus. Kalau sabun, it's like a crowbar, macam besi. Kita ketuk, kita smash a hole into the structure of the virus. We make a lot of it, a lot of holes, sampailah structure of the virus is compromised, and then dia akan collapse. And then kita wash away dengan air. Okay, so that is how the analogy yang digunakan untuk menerangkan macam mana the chemistry in how hand sanitizer and the soap and water work against the virus. So that is good lah kalau macam kita general population, macam orang yang tak study in detail about chemistry, about pharmacy. But you as a pharmacy student, you will be studying in depth about chemistry. I hope by the end of your program, maksud saya in 3 years lah, you will have like a little problem in understanding whatever is it about when you're reading about chemistry, when you're reading about something about biology related to pharmacy. Okay, saya nak kamu faham because we are teaching you the fundamental skills, macam mana kamu nak extract information. Bila dia cakap tentang lipid structure, what does that mean? Bila dia cakap tentang something called hydrophobic, what does that mean? Because kalau kamu as a pharmacy student, as a science student, tak faham all those things, that means somehow during the course of your learning, sepanjang 3 tahun as a diploma student, something went wrong somewhere. Okay, so my goal is to make you to be able to retain this information because it's interesting. Okay, considering right now kita tengah dalam pandemic, so it's very relevant for you to understand these things. Okay, for you to understand for yourself, for your family, because macam contohnya, we've been doing this. Kalau kamu perasan, we sanitize our public spaces. Kamu pernah tengok dalam berita, you see it on Twitter ke on TikTok, MOH, Ministry of Health, ataupun Ministry of apa lagi ya? Dia akan buat like majlis bandaraya lah selalunya. Okay, majlis bandaraya each of the city. Dia akan buat sanitizing process. Dia bawa dia masukkan dalam satu lori ni with alcohol solution, and then dia akan go around the city, dia akan tembak, dia akan spray with that solution. So the problem with that is CDC say that that's not how that's not very efficient. It doesn't work really well kalau kita buat macam tu. Because kita kena tengok balik macam mana this kalau kita nak basuh diri kita, kita akan gosok. We apply the soap and water on our hands, kita akan gosok, and then kita akan wash away. Kalau kita guna alcohol, hand sanitizer, kita akan letak on our hand, gosok sampai dia kering. Okay, so the reason why we do that, macam yang diterangkan dalam video tadi tu, kita nak get all of the solution, the soap and the water and the alcohol from the hand sanitizer, all over our hands. Kita nak ada masuk every rekahan, every pecahan, celah-celah kuku tu, kita nak semuanya masuk because the virus could be in there hiding. Kalau tangan yang kotor macam ada dirt, the virus could be in the dirt. So, bila kita macam garu hidung ke, korek hidung, masukkan tangan dalam mulut dan kita makan, the virus could go into the body. That's why we wash our hands. That's why we wear a face mask. Sebab kita tak nak the virus transfer from our hands into the body. Okay, that's the main reason why. Tetapi kalau kita buat macam the public sanitizing process tu, tembak public spaces, tembak jalan, tembak bangunan dengan that spraying tu, we only apply the solution only. Kita tak wash it away. So that's why CDC kata, Central of Disease Control, CDC, dan WHO who kata that does not work really well. It's basically a waste macam this artikel kata. Saya lupa share sekali lagi. So saya ambil satu artikel ni from newspaper The Star. Dia kata sanitizing public spaces is a waste of public resources, not effective. Okay, so why is it not effective? It's because of the reasons I said just now. Bila kita basuh tangan, kita basuh betul-betul. Basuh lama-lama so to make sure that everything, all of the soap, all of the hand sanitizer masuk celah-celah jari, celah-celah kuku. Tapi kalau kita tembak the solution, just on building, tembak longkang, tembak pagar, we did not wash it away. Kita just tembak saja and then bagi dia kering. So it's not efficient, it's not as effective. The virus could still be there sebab kita tak wash it away. So that's why dalam artikel ni dia kata it's a waste of public resources, it's a waste of money. Because kita beli solution tu dengan duit, dengan menggunakan duit, we drive it around, kena masukkan minyak, so that's why dia kata it's a waste of resources. And because it's not as effective. So dalam video tadi tu juga dia ada tunjuk some technical terms like the protein layer of the virus between your hand. Kenapa kamera dari sangat? You guys can see me, right? So that is for you to understand all those things that tunjuk all the structure of the virus, how it looks like. So my goal for you sepanjang modul ni, kita ada like 12 weeks. Saya nak kamu faham the differences between this stuff. So you will build those skills sepanjang 3 tahun kamu dalam program ni. So to do that, to build those skills, kamu mesti faham the very, very basic principle of matter. So that brings us to today's lesson. Okay, first chapter of our module today adalah matter and measurements. So dalam this chapter kita nak tengok what is matter, what are the types of matter, what do we do with matter, how do we differentiate between the types of matter. Okay, and also kita ada a different subtopic. So today saya nak go through 2 of them. Saya nak kamu tahu the types of matter, and saya nak kamu tahu physical and chemical changes. Because macam contohnya dalam video tadi tu kita tengok reaction antara sabun dan virus. The graphic, the video tunjukkan the visuals macam mana sabun tu boleh pecahkan the structure of the virus. So that's very neat lah kalau macam kamu nak, kita nak faham. Just cukup faham. Maksud saya tak sangat detail. Tapi kalau kita nak tahu exactly how does the soap break apart the structure of the virus, you must first understand the very, very first thing, what is matter and the types of matter. So to do that, saya akan guna quizzes. Kamu join this lesson, saya akan buat, it's a lesson, dia bukan quiz. So kita akan buat instructor pace lah. Dalam ni ada presentation slides and also ada some exercise questions. So kalau kamu boleh join, internet kamu okay, please join. Kalau tak boleh join, saya share screen so you could just tengok screen kamu lah. Okay, so the link for the quizzes ada dekat dalam chat room. So join the quizzes please. You don't need to apa nama, boleh just enter what kind of name. This is not graded, ini bukan assessment. Saya suka guna quizzes lesson ni because I'll get you to participate in the class also. Kamu tak tendung the screen semata-mata. Okay, bila saya ada exercise question dalam this lesson, you can participate. Kamu boleh jawab soalan. So that I know your level of understanding dekat mana. Okay, once again, kalau internet problem, don't worry, tak payah join. You just tengok screen kamu, saya share screen. And by the way, kamu dah ada student email kan? Email education, EDU. Kalau kamu dah ada email tu, I would prefer untuk kamu tu apa nama, sign in attendance menggunakan email tu. Sebab bila saya invite kamu to the classes, kamu tak perlu request permission untuk join. Sometimes bila kita, somebody say something? Sometimes bila kita buat kelas, kamu akan get disconnected. And then bila kamu nak join, you have to ask my permission. So saya terpaksa stop untuk admit you into the meeting. So that's the problem lah. And then you flow. So hopefully kalau semua orang menggunakan email student, email EDU, and I send you the invitation, kamu boleh just come in anytime you get disconnected. Alright, so 44. Okay, so I take it there's some people still trying to join. One more minute, okay, 2:30 kita akan mula.
So if that I have the old email address.
Sorry, saya putus lah Pak Mitra.
If you want to send me the links in email, I have to send you the name list.
Okay, you can just email me the email ucn.alf. My email is ucn.alf@kpjuc.edu.
Okay, so later I will email for you.
Okay, sure, thank you. Alright. Mana dia tadi? Types of matter. Okay, so saya start dulu. Kalau kamu nak join later, you can do it. Kalau tak boleh join, just pay attention to the screen. Okay, so this
Boleh tak share lagi sekali link quiz tu?
Sorry, tak clear lah.
Boleh tak share lagi sekali link quiz tu?
Boleh, sorry. Boleh tak kamu apa?
I send the link already.
Send lagi sekali link. Dah dapat belum?
Welcome.
Okay. Alright, where was I? Okay, so macam saya cakap last week, chemistry is the study of matter. Kita akan tengok in detail its composition, structure, properties, changes it undergoes, and the energy accompanying these changes. So macam that's why saya tunjuk video hand washing tadi tu menggunakan sabun dan alkohol tadi tu. So dalam that video, that 4-minute video, kesemua all these things yang ditulis kat sini, dia ada composition of the virus, composition of the soap, composition of the hand sanitizer, semua dia tunjuk. The structure of the virus, dia punya bentuk dia, that spera, and then macam mana sabun tu, its hydrophobic particles, macam mana dia nak balas with the virus, it's there. So kita nak faham lagi, kita nak understand in detail about that composition. That's why we are learning chemistry. Structure pun also macam tadi. Properties, the hydrophobic. Hydrophobic means it does not react with water. Hydro is water, phobic means phobia lah, takut. Takut dengan air. That's the trait yang kita panggil pada, kita beri pada something, sesuatu bahan yang tidak suka bertindak balas dengan air. Macam minyak. Minyak is hydrophobic. It has, the structure is arranged in a way yang menyebabkan dia hydrophobic. Okay? The changes it undergoes bila sabun tu bertindak balas dengan virus, how, macam mana dia pecahkan the structure, how it breaks it apart. Okay? And of course, bila ada tindak balas kimia, energy will be spent. Okay? Energy akan digunakan. So, bila kita study matter, when we are studying, when we are observing matter, this is what it means. Kita tengok the composition, kita tengok the structure. We want to understand these things. The properties, macam mana properties tu boleh mempengaruhi tindak balas. Okay? Next slide. Slow sikit lah saya punya laptop. Okay, now the definition of matter. What is matter? Basically, it's everything. It's anything that occupies space and has mass. Apa-apa sahaja bahan yang mengambil ruang dan juga mempunyai jisim. So if you look around you, tengok sekeliling kamu, you see anything with your naked eyes, that is mass. Some things yang kamu tak nampak with your naked eyes also, that is mass. Contohnya macam the gas, the air that you breathe. Walaupun kamu tak nampak dia, but it has mass. It occupies space. Dia masuk dalam bilik kamu tapi kamu tak nampak. Bila dia masuk dalam bilik kamu, it occupies space. When you breathe in, it occupies your lung. That is a space also. And you know gas has mass. Kalau kamu masukkan, kamu tiup udara dalam balon, kamu timbang dia akan ada berat. It will register on the balance. If you blow in more air, berat tu akan meningkat. So we know air is mass because it occupies space and dia ada mass. Alright? So once we understand this, kita boleh tengoklah the type of matter. So kita tahu kat sini the first category of matter adalah pure substance. So pure substance is a type of matter which every sample has. Maksudnya everything around you, kamu boleh nampak, anything you can touch, there ada some kind of pure substance. So it is definite and fixed composition. And it has the same set of properties, elements and compounds, examples of pure substance. Let me clarify that. Contohnya, pure substance ni bermaksud dia hanya terdiri from the same atom sahaja. Lambat pula whiteboard saya. Contohnya macam hydrogen gas ataupun oxygen gas, the air that you breathe in, the body uses. Okay, so oxygen gas, dia punya chemical formula adalah O2. Okay, that means one molecule of oxygen gas terdiri daripada dua atom oxygen, O2. So O2 means that atom, that compound hanya terdiri daripada elemen oksigen sahaja. Okay, oxygen gas adalah sejenis pure substance. Kenapa dia dikenali sebagai pure substance? Because it is made up of the same atom, of the same element. Okay, berbeza dengan carbon dioxide. Contohnya macam air laut. Okay, saya ambil contoh yang sangat kontras, sangat berbeza. Air laut, sea water. Sea water is made up of many things, many compounds, many microorganisms. It is a mixture. Okay, dia ada H2O dalam tu, dah bercampur dengan salt, NaCl, ada other things, microorganisms, excrements of animals. Okay, so many things. So seawater is not a pure substance because it is made up of many things. It is a mixture. Okay, so itu yang dimaksudkan dekat sini. Kalau kita nak kenal pasti what is a pure substance, it is definite. and fixed composition. Dia punya komposisi kimia dia tu tetap. Okay, tak boleh berubah. Contohnya macam O2. O2 is oxygen gas, the gas that we breathe in. Tapi kalau kita ubah composition dia, kita ubahlah. Kalau kita jumpa another compound, it's O3. O3 is not oxygen gas anymore. O3 is known as ozone. So it works differently than O2. Okay? So walaupun dia benda yang sama oksigen, tetapi kedua-duanya adalah pure substance. Pure substance. So ini yang dimasukkan dengan fixed and definite composition. Kalau ozone, dia punya structure mesti O3. Kalau oxygen gas, dia punya structure dia mesti O2. Another example, macam CO2, carbon dioxide, the air that we breathe out. After kita breathe in oxygen, you breathe out most of it as oxygen, as carbon dioxide, because oxygen tu sudah is utilized in the body and it's converted to CO2. So CO2 also is a type of pure substance. Okay, because this is the structure, the chemical composition of CO2. Dia ada satu atom carbon and dia ada dua atom oksigen. Kalau kita dia tak boleh, it cannot be more than this, it cannot be different. Dia tak boleh jadi COC. This is not carbon dioxide anymore. Okay? Kalau macam contohnya air laut. Air laut is not definite dia punya composition. Air laut dekat Indian Ocean is different, has different composition than air laut dekat Pacific Ocean. So it varies because different reaction takes place, different kinds of animals are in different kinds of water. So that's why seawater is not a pure substance. Dia punya tu berubah, dia punya composition berubah from places and time to time. Tetapi carbon dioxide is the same, dia punya structure sama macam zaman sekarang, sama dengan 1 million years ago. It's CO2. Oxygen also the same. So that is a pure substance. Dia tidak berubah. Definite and fixed composition. Moving on to the next slide. Elements is the first, is a type of pure substance. Okay, later I'll show you a table. So elements is a kind of pure substance. Is the first one yang kita nak study today. So they are made out of identical atoms. They cannot be decomposed or broken down into simpler substances by physical or chemical methods. So as a chemistry student, you must know there are up until today kita dah kenal pasti, kita dah jumpa sebanyak 118 elemen. If you buka jadual berkala unsur, the periodic table of elements, we have identified 118 elements. 90 of them, 90 plus kita jumpa. Lagi 20 kita created synthetically in lab. Okay, if you remember that one scene, kalau kamu pernah tengok movie Iron Man 2 kot. Iron Man 2, there's a scene in a lab. In that movie, the movie started with him having platinum poisoning because that's the element that he used in his reactor yang dekat dada dia tu. Okay, that's a nuclear reactor dekat dada dia tu, and platinum is one of the components dekat dalam reactor tu. But the problem is the platinum that he used is poisoning him. So he's dying basically at the beginning of the movie. So in the middle of the movie, kita ada satu scene yang mana dia tengah nak create a new element based on the findings yang from a video dia tengok ayah dia buat. So ada satu scene tu lah macam mana dia tunjuk dia buat new element. My point here is ada a degree of truth kat situ, ada sedikit kebenaran. Most of it, 90% of it are fiction. That's not how we buat element. We use this big machine called mass spectrometer. We blast this one element, this thin layer of element, we blast it with some kind of energy, and then kita akan observe. It takes a long time than the one yang ditunjukkan dalam movie tu. So tapi it takes in a safer controlled environment than the one yang ada dalam movie Iron Man 2. Okay, so I've gone on a tangent, but we have 118 elements, and all of them is a kind of pure substance. So kalau kamu buka periodic table elements, dia akan tunjuk the first one is hydrogen. That is a pure element. Helium, pure element. Beryllium, pure element. Lithium, boron, carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, all are pure element. And why is it a pure element? Because they are made up of identical atoms. Second, they cannot be decomposed ataupun broken down. Kita tak boleh nak simplify lah. The element carbon, that is the simplest form. It cannot be simplified anymore. Alright. Next point. So example yang dalam slide ni dia bagi gold. Okay, gold is a type of metal. The chemical symbol is a aurum. Nama Latinnya adalah aurum. So it is discovered way long time ago. Sampai nama chemical symbol dia pun is in Latin, that language. Another example is silver, also in Latin. Dia punya chemical symbol argentum, Ag. Next one is chlorine gas, Cl2. So this is made up of the same atom. This molecule is made up of the same atom. And next is bromine gas. Okay, so they are all made up of the same element, the atoms of the same element. Oh, terpotong kat sini, atas ni tak nampak. What does it say ya? Tadi kalau saya besarkan nampak tak? Compound. Tak nampak juga. Tapi basically di sini compound. So tadi kita dah tengok element. Okay, let me go out of the full screen. So types of matter. Let me buat satu table kat sini. Okay, so matter you can classify dia macam ni. Matter, and then kita akan buat pecahan. So the first one kat sini adalah pure substance. Okay, and kat sini adalah mixture. So dalam pure substance ni kita akan tengok tadi we have been introduced to elements. Dia bagi contoh macam aurum. Let me scroll up. Aurum, silver, that sort of stuff. Now kita nak tengok pula compound. Ataupun sometimes kita panggil dia sebagai molecules. Okay, so what is molecule? Molecule is any substance that is composed of two or more different elements chemically combined. Okay, dia mengandungi more than two elements. Dia punya structure terdiri daripada two different elements combined. It has a definite composition, fixed ratio of all atoms in all samples. This is according to the law of definite composition. It can be decomposed or broken down into simpler substance by chemical method. And it has a unique set of properties in all samples. So let's break down apa yang ditulis kat sini. So the first one dia kata is composed of two or more different elements chemically combined. So I will give you an example. Contoh molekul yang mudah saya suka pakai adalah H2O. So H2O is a type of compound, it's a type of molecule. Dia terdiri daripada atom hydrogen and oxygen. Okay, that's the first criteria. Dia mengandungi two elements. Next adalah has definite composition, a fixed ratio. So apa maksud dia kat situ? Ini bermaksud dia punya bila dia cakap definite composition, bila kita cakap tentang the molecule of water, this is what we mean. It has two hydrogen, panjang pula, saya tulis singkatan. Two hydrogen atoms and dia ada satu oxygen atom. This is the composition of water. Everywhere you go, kamu pergi dekat Antarctica, this is the molecule of water, this is the structure. Kamu pergi dekat Pacific Ocean, this is the structure. Kamu pergi dekat France, this is it. If you go to Mars, planet Mars, this is the structure of water. Okay, so itu yang dimaksud dengan fixed ataupun definite composition. Dia punya chemical structure tu, this is it, tak berubah. Okay. Number 3, it can be decomposed or broken down into simpler substances by chemical method. H2O, very simple. Saya suka contoh ni. Because if you boil water, it will turn into, water vapor. Dia masih lagi H2O. There's a chemical process, kita panggil dia sebagai electrolysis. Electrolysis is a process where we can separate the hydrogen and oxygen atoms of water. So kita take H2O, kita boleh break apart. Dia akan hasilkan hydrogen gas dan juga oxygen gas. So there's no more water. Okay, so process electrolysis, we can break apart H2O, menghasilkan hydrogen and oxygen gas. So this is salah satu ciri compound. And it has a unique set of properties in all samples. So tak kira lah macam saya cakap tadi, tak kira lah di mana-mana jua dia berada, planet Mars ke, planet di bulan ke, di bumi, di Paris, di Kuala Lumpur, dia punya chemical and physical properties sama. At 0 degree Celsius dia akan beku. 100 degree Celsius dia akan mendidih. Okay, kalau kena dekat muka sesiapa dia basah. Even in space. Okay? So itulah yang dimaksudkan dengan ciri-ciri compound. What is compound? So dalam gambar raja kat sini tunjuklah the structure of different things. Moving on, next slide. Baik, kita boleh ulang balik. Bear with me please. Okay, ini apa ni? One minute saya tak nampak dia tulis kat atas tu. Okay, compound is a pure substance. Okay, sometimes compound pun boleh jadi pure substance. So dia adalah pure substance bila it is made up of two different elements chemically combined. It has definite composition. Okay, this is the same tadi ya. Can be decomposed, blah blah blah. Contohnya yang bagi kat sini adalah macam helium gas, hydrogen gas, those are compound, tapi it is made up of the same atoms, same elements. Slow pula saya punya laptop ni. Okay, so contohnya kat sini, this is the same, similar molecules of an element. This is not, this is just element, the atoms, single atom only. For a minute, saya nak move to the next slide. So sekarang saya nak tanya kamu one question. Walaupun kamu tak belajar lagi, what do you think is the answer to this question? Which change must occur for hydrogen fluoride? HF is hydrogen fluoride to form its elements. Perubahan apa yang mesti berlaku untuk kita separate hydrogen from fluorine? HF is the chemical formula for hydrogen fluoride. Kamu boleh guess, teka, hentam, whatever you think, you can answer. Because we are getting into this topic now. The changes. what can affect the certain types of matter. Kita tengok kat sini ramai kata chemical change. Ada some kata nuclear change, a phase change and a physical change. Alright, so most of you have answered. I end the question now. So jawapannya betul. Okay, untuk separate the hydrogen atom from the fluorine atom, you have to perform some kind of chemical change. Okay, so sekarang kita nak tahu how do we identify chemical and different type of change. So in this question, which list consists only of substances that can be chemically decomposed? You can just hentam. What do you think? So dia bagi kat sini, the first option adalah potassium, solid. Kat bawah tu dia tulis S, maksudnya solid. Kat sini KCl, potassium chloride, larutan aqueous. You can just hentam just for now kalau kamu tak tahu. CO is I forgot the name. CO2 is carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, my bad. CO is carbon monoxide, CO2 is carbon dioxide. CO yang O kecil ni is cobalt, this is calcium chloride. So dia tanya sini, which list consists only of substances that can be chemically decomposed? So kamu kena ingat definition of elemen dan juga compound tadi. Mana satu yang boleh chemically decompose? Adakah elemen boleh decompose? Adakah compound boleh decompose? So most of you, ada dua kat sini yang besar, CO and CO2, CO and CaCl2. So this is interesting. So let's end the question now. Jawapan yang betul adalah lithium bromide and tetrachloride. Okay, carbon tetrachloride, CCl4. So kamu kena ingat penama elements. Elements kita tak boleh nak decompose dah. So the first option kat sini ada K. K is potassium, kalium dalam bahasa Melayu, in Latin. So kalau kamu jumpa elemen, dia tak boleh decompose dah. The same goes for carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide ni walaupun dia adalah compound, tapi it is it's a pure substance. Kita tak boleh nak change dia punya structure. So that's why kita tak boleh nak decompose dia. Yang option ketiga pun sama. Kat sini ada cobalt, CO. Cobalt is an element. Kita tak boleh nak decompose dia. Tapi dalam the final option, option number 4, lithium bromide dan juga carbon tetrachloride, all of them are compound, made up of different atoms of different elements. That's why dia boleh decompose. It can be separated. Okay, moving on to the next one. So basically these questions that assess whether you understand the definition of element, the definition of compounds. Chemistry is a study of what? So saya tunjuk chart kat sini. Tak nampak. Chemistry ada 5 options: composition of matter, changes in matter and energy, properties of matter, structure of matter, ataupun kesemuanya sekali. So what do you think chemistry is? Lepas habis this lesson kita take 5 saat. So chart view, all of the above. Yakin ramai-ramai jawab all of the above. So let's end the question now. Majority have answered all of the above. And the right answer is correct, all of the above. Okay, dalam first slide lagi, tadi kita dah establish this is what chemistry is. Kita tengok the composition. We observe the composition of the matter. And we observe the changes in the matter and the energy. Okay, and not properties of the matter, and then the structure of the matter. Saya boleh bagi contoh, kalau macam kamu ambil a glass of water, you put it in freezer, dia akan membeku. So kalau if you want to know the chemistry of how air tu boleh membeku, kamu akan tengok the composition. In the beginning, dia adalah liquid. H2O, masih lagi H2O. Tapi dia adalah dalam bentuk liquid. When you put it in freezer, after a while, dia akan froze, dia akan membeku. Okay? So bila dia membeku, dia masih lagi H2O. You are observing the composition. The composition does not change, but the physical appearance, physical structure, physical phase sudah berubah daripada liquid, it went to solid. So you observe the changes yang berlaku. So kamu boleh tengok, you can calculate what happened. Basically, okay, bila liquid, dia punya structure of water is loose. Dia boleh go around. If you pour that cup of water in a plate, dia akan ikut bentuk plate tu. This is because the structure of water is very loose. Dia tak sit together tightly macam solid. Tapi bila kita masukkan dalam freezer, the temperature forces the atoms of water, the molecules of water to not move. Dia mesti sit tight untuk conserve energy. So the changes in energy occurs also. That's why dia membeku, because the atoms, the molecules of water, H2O, sits closer together, and in the end, they form a solid. So kita tengok all those things just by tengok, observing air membeku. Daripada liquid dia jadi seketul ais. So all are included dalam contoh yang saya bagi tadi. Okay, moving on, next slide. Next slide. Okay, you must excuse my laptop, it's a bit slow. Which list consists only of chemical pure substance? The options kat sini adalah soil and water, air and water, iron and sodium chloride, and last one is sugar and concrete. So kat sini tanya, which list only consists of only chemical pure substance? You can hentam, don't worry, this is not graded. You answer, kalau kamu boleh work your logic in your head, you do that. Kalau tak tahu, you can just hentam, because later I'll tell you the answer. I just want participation from sesiapa yang boleh participate with good internet connection. Okay, so most of you answered iron and sodium chloride. So let's end the question now. Thank you for participating. And the answer is betul, iron and sodium chloride. Because soil is not pure. Kalau kamu go outside, you grab a fist of soil, dalam tu it contains a lot of chemical compounds, microorganisms, minerals, salt, semua dalam satu genggaman kamu. So it is a mixture. Air also is the same. The air that we breathe is not pure oxygen. Only 20% saja, tak silap saya, adalah oxygen. Selebihnya, most of it, 70% adalah nitrogen gas. Some of it adalah carbon dioxide, and small portion of it adalah noble gases. Okay, so it is a mixture. Sugar and concrete also the same. Sugar is is a molecule, is a compound. Concrete is a mixture of different things. Okay, pasir, batu, whatever cement is, so it's a mixture. Okay, tetapi iron is pure element, sodium chloride is a pure compound. Jadi tak boleh nak ubah dia punya composition. That's why the answer adalah iron and sodium chloride. Basically kamu kena tahu bezakan antara pure substance, pure element, dan juga dengan mixture. Later on kita akan tengok mixture tu apa. Kat sini kita baru go through dua kan. Oh, sorry. Kita baru go through dua. Kita baru tengok pure substance, element dan juga compound. Kita belum masuk lagi mixture kat sini. Okay, mixture is another type of matter. Okay, later kita akan tengok. Kita habiskan dulu slide ni. Next adalah carbon dioxide, CO2, is classified as a pure substance because, my bad. Saya baca next question. Matter is defined as what? This is the second slide of our lesson today. Anything that has mass only, anything that has volume only. So from here, kita boleh tengok anything that occupies space. Ramai jawab number 3. Anything that occupies space and has mass. So most of you have answered that. Betul ke? And the answer is yes, option number 3. Anything that occupies space, anything that has mass, that is matter. Okay, and also saya nak clarify, ada beberapa students pernah tanya saya beberapa kali, what is mass? Okay, so mass is basically, dia tanya saya basically apakah beza antara mass dan juga weight. This is a more, inilah yang saya nak clarify. Kenapa tak guna weight? Why we use mass? Bila kita study science, we use mass. If you remember, kamu belajar fizik ataupun kimia, kita akan guna jisim dalam bahasa Melayu. Ini jisim, ini berat. So apakah perbezaan antara mass dan juga weight? Jisim dan juga berat. So basically, in general, mass is the one way to bezakan, one way to differentiate between mass and weight adalah is not affected by gravity. Okay, mass ia tidak dipengaruhi gravity, tapi weight, yes, it's affected by gravity. So one example yang selalu saya suka bagi adalah macam if you watch the video of the moon landing. 1 minute. Somebody is joining. So if you watch the video of moon landing, orang pergi ke bulan, and when they walk on the surface of the moon, boleh nampak dia macam bounce. Okay, that is because the weight dah berkurangan. Because gravity bulan adalah lebih rendah. Tak silap saya 30% saja. So we weigh less. If you are 100 kg dekat bumi, if you go to the moon, you only weigh 30 kg. Okay? So berat seseorang itu dipengaruhi oleh gravity. Kamu boleh nampak perbezaannya bila kita if you watch the moon landing video. The mass of that person, walaupun berat dia 30 kg, the mass of the person does not change because dia punya composition, badan dia tak berubah. It's still the same person. Kamu tak hilang tangan ke, kamu tak hilang kepala ke, kaki ke, everything is still intact. We have the same atoms when you are in Earth and when you are dekat bulan. So that's why the mass of anything does not change. It does not affect by gravity. That's why bila kita buat calculation, bila kita buat eksperimen, everything changes, everything berubah. Tapi the mass of the thing tidak berubah because it's not affected by the gravity. Especially kalau kita if you want to send a person into space, you have to perform all your calculations, all your tests menggunakan this data, mass, not by weight. Because all the calculations has to be accurate. Kalau silap kira you didn't convert the weight, the data, something go wrong. Okay, that is the difference. So that's why kita guna mass bila kita study science subjects. Banyak bunyi. Okay, going back to the slides. Sorry. Okay, next slide. This is our second last slide. Carbon dioxide CO2 is classified as pure substance because what? Ada 4 pilihan kat sini. Its composition can vary. Its composition is fixed. It cannot be separated. It can be separated. So what do you think? Why is CO2 is classified as pure substance? Walaupun it is made up of 2 different elements and more than 2 atoms. So kalau saya tengok chart view, saringan sengit antara its composition is fixed and it cannot be separated. What do you think? From what we have learned today, this 10 slide before, why do you think CO2 is classified as pure substance? Okay, so now it seems that we have a winner. Tengok jawapan sekarang. The answer is why CO2 is pure substance is because its composition is fixed. So, mana dia? Good question. So its composition is fixed. It can be separated. Okay, CO2 can be separated. Bila pokok gunakan CO2 in photosynthesis, they break down CO2 into different things. Tetapi dia bukan lagi, dia akan jadi benda lain lah, dia bukan lagi CO2. Okay, CO2, carbon dioxide can be decomposed, it can be separated. Okay, cuma ya, yang pentingnya kat sini adalah its composition is fixed. Okay, CO2 in Malaysia, CO2 dia punya soalan. Carbon dioxide in Malaysia, structure is CO2. Carbon dioxide in the moon is CO2. Carbon dioxide in space tak adalah. In any planets yang ada atmosphere, it's still CO2. Itu yang dimasukkan dengan composition is fixed. It can be separated, it can be decomposed, but the composition is fixed everywhere. Okay? And our last slide, I'm not sure, question slide. Okay, last one. After this, we take 5. Which of these cannot be decomposed by physical or chemical method? Water, gold, carbon dioxide, and sugar. Mana satu tak boleh decompose? What's the word dalam bahasa Melayu? Tak boleh diuraikan. Can we break apart the atoms of water? Can we break apart the atoms of gold, carbon dioxide, ataupun sugar? Glucose in this case. The fructose. C2H12, C2. I'm not sure myself. So, kat sini kita tengok most of you answer gold. Oh, bila saya tunjuk terus ramai ni. Okay, so it seems like most of you have made up your mind. Let's end the question so that we can take a break. The answer is correct. Okay, jawapannya adalah gold. We cannot decompose gold. Okay, gold, it's an element. It's a pure element. It is not made up of anything else, only gold atoms sahaja. Okay, water we can separate, carbon dioxide we can separate, sugar lagi lah kita boleh separate. Okay, thank you for participating. Let's take 5. Later saya akan elaborate lagi on the mixture, types of mixture. Let's take 5 dulu ah. Okay all, I'm back. Okay, so hopefully everybody is ready. So eager to finish. So saya nak expand further on the types of matter. So we go back, rewind sikit. So this is where we started. Okay, kita nak study matter. And then kita divide, we classify matter into two types, pure substance and juga mixture. Okay, and then we go over in detail what are the types of pure substance. Ada dua kat sini, elements and juga compound molecule. Let me stand up lah. Okay, so kita ada elements and juga compound molecule. So elements adalah these things lah yang made up of the same atoms. Helium, everything that is made up of the same atom. Chlorine, you can list all 118 elements ke semuanya. We have 118 of them. Compound pula is made up of more than one atom. Okay, more than one atom. Contohnya kat sini saya bagi H2O, ada hydrogen gas, oxygen gas, carbon dioxide, dalam contoh tadi ada lithium bromide, ada carbon tetrachloride, sulfuric acid. These are things that are made up of more than one ataupun two atoms. Sugar tadi, C2H12O26, something like that, I forgot also. Okay, these are the definition. This is how we identify compound molecule made up of more than two atoms. So, somebody, I need to admit somebody. Okay, and sekarang kita nak tengok mixture pula. Okay, so mixture, like the name implies, there are different substances mixed in a certain amount of space. So dia adalah campuran. So it can be made up of elements and compound. Okay, so contohnya macam mana dia mouse? Macam air laut. Okay, sea water ataupun air pipe. Okay, air pipe tu is treated dekat loji. So for it to be safe, kita dah filter all the dirty parts, dust, and kita treat dia dengan chlorine to kill all pathogens, untuk bunuh bakteria, so that it is safe for us to consume. So bila dia dah ditapis, tapi kita treat dia dengan chlorine, so basically air pipe tu mengandungi H2O dan juga chlorine, Cl. So this is a mixture. It is made up of this element and juga this compound, this molecule. So dalam mixture ni mengandungi elemen dan juga molecule. Macam contoh lagi, saya tak susah bagi contoh pelik-pelik. Food, makanan. If you want to cook mee goreng, you need noodles. You need oil. You need kicap. You need what else? Garam. Okay, so these are all different things, molecules. These are complex carbohydrates. These are fats. Kicap is made up of many things. Soy, fermented soy, garam is NaCl. So these are compound and molecules. They are mixed together, jadilah mee goreng. Okay, so this is an example of mixture also. So kat sini saya dah tarik dua pecahan kat sini. So basically there are two types of mixture. Kedua-duanya bernama, sekejap, I'm drawing a blank. Mixture, homogeneous mixture. Okay, the first one is homogeneous mixture dan juga, let me tarik panjang sikit, heterogeneous mixture. Homogeneous adalah campuran, mixture that appears to have mixed very well. Contohnya macam air gula. Air gula, you take a cup of water, this is H2O, and then you put sugar in here. Kalau kamu kacau, dia akan mix well with the water, so you have sugar solution, homogeneous. That is what homogeneous means. Air, sugar tu, gula dah melarut di dalam air, so we have one clear solution of sugar water. Itu maksud homogeneous. Atau another example adalah air garam, air tambah garam, kalau kamu campur, jadilah one solution. Another example adalah air oren cordial. Okay, air sangkuik ataupun air sirap. Okay, you get a cup of water and you put cordial inside. Okay, you put syrup. You mix, kamu akan dapat air merah. So walaupun the color changes, tapi it's still one clear solution. Okay, dia tak ada like a layer of different solution. Itu maksud homogeneous. Okay, one very well mixed solution. Berbeza dengan heterogeneous, okay, it is not a very well mixed solution. Contohnya macam kamulah, kita manusia, we are mixture of many things. Ataupun yang lagi clear adalah a mixture of water and sand. You take air laut and kamu scoop air laut dengan sand, you put it in a bucket, you have a mixture. Tapi the mixture is clearly mixed with two different things that does not mix well. Okay, another example adalah air, H2O and oil. Banyaknya bunyi. Ramai nak join ke? Okay, another example adalah H2O dan oil, air dan juga minyak. Dah besar sangat dah. Saya akan tarik ke bawah. Okay, H2O dan oil. H2O dan oil, kalau kamu tuang dalam satu cawan, kamu akan dapat dua layer. So two layers, H2O dan oil. If you put them in a glass of water, you get two layers. Kat bawah ni adalah H2O, kat atas ni adalah oil. Dia tak akan mix. The same goes macam air dengan pasir tadi lah. Pasir will be at the bottom of the bucket, air duduk di bahagian atas. Okay, so that's basically the difference between homogeneous mixture dan juga mana dia? Homogeneous mixture dan juga heterogeneous. Sorry lah, saya punya writing and saya punya contengan ni berserabut. Okay, let me write it down kat bawah sini. Mixture divided into two. Mixture, okay. One adalah homogeneous. Satu lagi adalah heterogeneous. Okay, perbezaannya adalah this one mix. Forgot the term, but it's mixed together without any layers. Okay, kalau heterogeneous, it doesn't mix well with each other. Okay, so those are the types of matter. Kita ada pure substances and we have mixture and the examples. Dekat dalam lecture note saya adalah cantik-cantik. One slide dia bagikan cantik-cantik what is pure substance, element tu apa, compound tu apa, mixture ni pula terbagi kepada dua. So if you want the pretty infographic, pergi pada lecture note. Oh, tapi that reminds me, astaghfirullahaladzim, saya belum share lagi with cohort 18. Cohort 42 dah boleh access ni kan. So saya dah tanya Miss Najiha, dia pun tak tahu macam mana dia nak add saya dalam KPJ-ICP ni yang punya ITEL. So saya akan share everything lah. Hopefully Alvin, kamu boleh create a WhatsApp group for me to bagi tahu all information, dan juga saya boleh share all this material. Okay, later today hopefully saya boleh share everything. Alright, so that is classification of matter. So kalau kamu nak verify, kalau kamu nak ulang kaji, if you want to revise whether you understand this topic or not, make sure kamu tahu this classification. Pure substance is what? If you read further, it's elements and compound. What is element? Can you write down some examples? What are compounds? Can you write down some examples? Okay, and then mixture pula is another classification of matter. And homogeneous is what mixture? Heterogeneous is what type of mixture? Can you give out examples? Okay, so saya nak bagi homework, tapi it's just a quizzes lesson. Mana dia? Quizzes lesson. So saya cancel ni, tak jadi buat live. Saya akan bagi ni sebagai homework. So kamu go through the slides and answer a few of the exercise questions. Later in the next class kita akan discuss some problem. Okay, saya akan bring out some problem questions dalam kelas. Kita akan try to solve the problems dalam kelas. Okay, so that's it for today. If you don't have any questions, I can end the class right now. So let me check. Our next class is on. Hey, is this right? Is it tomorrow? Hey, you're 42, my bad. Oh, is it the only class of the week? Okay, so no problem lah. So that's your homework. I'll share the quizzes link dekat dalam WhatsApp group later. Akan kamu kena share lah, cohort 18 dan cohort 42. You use the same link. Okay guys, so kalau tak ada apa-apa dah, thank you for participating. If you have any questions, boleh tanya dalam WhatsApp group. See you next class. When is the due date? The due date, kita nak tanya due date. Due date is Friday. Okay, because it's just hopefully boleh buat dengan cepat. It's just a few exercise questions saja. Okay guys.
Okay sir, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Terima kasih.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.